Good morning, afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is for you, I'm Cyclone. It's time for Let's Play Train Simulator. Well, I did try to give it a second shot to try to get that star on there, and I don't feel like doing a dummy scenario right now to fix it. So, you know what? I can just probably copy and paste the 4-0 Park Railfan onto there later and take care of that easily, or the Forest Hills Railfan, and just let it sit there and walk around, do something for 10 minutes. And you know what? I'll clear those, no problem. Don't worry about it. I'll get them taken care of. But in the meantime, I'm going to try On the Clock Part 2, see if that one will give me the star for right now. And I do want to go straight into that. I'm doing this right after playing Part 1, so I still have that fresh in my mind, that journey from New York Penn to Hicksville. Lovely service, and we're going to go ahead and go the other way as an empty equipment move right into Hillside Yard. I don't know the speed limit in Hillside Yard. It's my first time in Hillside Yard, so we'll take a peek at that as we get there. And the one after this, by the way, we're going to be going to Atlantic Terminal. I think this is the first time we're going to Atlantic Terminal because we took the Hempstead 7 service somewhere else. I think for some reason we took Hempstead 7 to New York Penn as a special morning peak service. So we didn't take the normal path to Atlantic with the Hempstead journey. We're going to get to do it on number 5, Brooklyn Baller. That should be a fun scenario. And then we're going to have a Jamaica move to Hempstead as well. Then we're going to have Saturday Stakes at Belmont going to Penn Station. So that's the other scenarios on this route. But for today, we're going to do the On the Clock Part 2. Let's get busy, shall we? Good evening, engineer. Set up the train and depart when you are ready for Hillside Yard. Roger. So the train is basically set up now. I'm going to go ahead, since this is a 1,000-point starring scenario, I can see that 1,000 points glimmering in the corner of the screen. So we just have a couple things to do. No timetable. So let's go ahead and take our time and make sure we're set up correctly. We're going to take the wiper setting and move it down to where I want it in an intermittent setting, and that should do the job. And we're going to turn the headlights on now. And that takes care of the job. So we're going to go ahead and apply minimum power, and we're going to start moving. So you can see that it's now 6:40 in the evening. We just pulled in about 6:29, I want to say, at the end of the last scenario. So we had about an 11-minute layover as passengers removed all of their belongings, and we ended up removing the passengers that didn't want to leave. And after we did all that, we basically carried on with our day, and we're now heading out. That is a, I believe that's a, I keep wanting to say a different signal for that. I want to say approach me. No, approach me is not the one we're looking at. That's the other one I've seen that I keep calling this. Hello. Medium clear, I think is what it's called. Yeah, medium clear. That was a medium clear signal. So that means that we can proceed medium speed within the interlocking limits. I've told you about that one before. I just keep forgetting what it's called. That's what happens. I just keep forgetting. So 30 is our speed limit here. We want to be careful not to speed past 30 as we get permission to move into the 80. So I am moving the speed up just slightly and going to try not to overdo it because we don't want to lose our glorious 1,000 points here. Oh, I should go up a lot faster. I want to go to 80. I'm not even trying here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even trying. So I think for some of this journey, I'm just going to go ahead and relax my voice a little bit. It's just something I'm sure you'll love hearing. And we're going to see if we can enjoy some of this journey here, because we got some nice scenery going by. It's actually very well done. Like you wouldn't think it would be this well done in a game that's as old as this is, but this is very, very well done. I actually think the scenery in this route is pretty darn good. I'm not going to get into discussions whether it's the best route that's ever been made for the US or not. There are some that will have that opinion, especially if they start building extensions for it to give it even more utility. So, for example, if someone decides to build the extension to Babylon, for whatever reason, build the whole line down there, we're going to have a double line here, which is going to be very interesting. So, you never know. Things like that could happen. And if they do, yay. Babylon's a long stretch, though. I'd guess that you'd be more likely to see something that terminates like Port Washington, because that could be something that no one else would be able to build onto, and that's just a little project you can do for yourself then. So we might see something like Port Washington. We might see the far Rockaway route. We might see Long Beach, which would require part of the Babylon branch anyway. Both of those would. West Hampstead would also require part of that. Someone might go down to Rosedale, and that would allow to complete the 2 little tracks that go off south of Jamaica. It's not very much track there, but if someone were to put that base amount in and continue at least to where the branches are, then at least the branches can be built from wherever that person leaves off. So maybe someone will go down to where the branches start splitting off and then add on from there. That might be a possibility. So they might build up to the end, to the station after the Long Beach branch. I think it's Rockville or something like that, Rockville Center or something. And I think if someone were to at least do that, that would give a good start for anyone who wants to add the branches. Then once the branch work is complete, they can just be added into a big bulk route. Which, if they can put all that in the workshop, oh my goodness, that will be a heck of a network. With Port Washington as well. Trains everywhere. Hillside East is where we're going. We are passing Westbury at this time. So that's our first station observed. We see Carl Place. Carl Mace? Where did that come from? Carl Place is coming up, and that is the next station we're going to be passing by in about half a mile. We do not have to stop today, so we will not. Well, we don't have to stop this time. We already did have to stop. Now, Mineola is not showing up marked in the distance yet, so it may be, it may not be. But I know that this game tends to like to put you on the left track because it is the way that the game is scripted. It might be a core thing. If the game has an opportunity, we'll put you on the left track whenever possible. So I have a feeling we're going to be seeing waypoints on all of the stations just to make sure the train stays where we want it. I still remember that accident clip on Mariah's Pass that I put on my channel here. The disaster at Essex, I think I called it. I'm getting a 70, by the way. We're going to drop down to 70. I'll be quiet. I'm already at 70. I was at 69 when you slow me down further, you jerk. Yeah, I still remember that disaster at Essex video, and that was when I should have been moved over at the junction before to the right track, but it decided to keep me on the left track for some strange reason, and as a result, it still didn't... Now what? I didn't want to do that. That was a mistake. Why am I going down to... Stop it! Why am I going down to 40? Well, Mineola is coming up, and I am clueless as to why I'm going 40 right now. There must be a signal up ahead. Is there a train on the track up ahead of me? That could have something to do with it. Let's find out. If I go back to where I am... No, there is no service. Why am I being stopped? Oh, there is a service. Look at this. Look at this. We're up to a 70 now. We're going to be following a train, kids. So I'm going to go ahead and push the speed up just a little bit here to show you what happens. We're now in an 80. So as we get ourselves back up to speed, what's going to happen is we're going to end up following this train. And if it makes a stop somewhere, we're going to catch up with it again. Just like that, we're being dropped. So we literally are not going to be able to go very fast in this on this service day. We're going to be staying around the 40 area here. We might even get dropped to 30 at this next signal. That is possible. That is very well possible. This is Mineola. I was a little confused what was going on for a moment, but now I know. So this is Mineola. We're going to get dropped, I think, to 30. Nope, we're staying at 40. So just watch the cab speed on this journey, guys, because that cab speed is going to tell you exactly what we're going to have to do here. Right now we're staying at 40, and the reason we're staying at 40 is because if we look at the train up ahead, you're going to see he stopped at Maryland Avenue. So he's going to eventually clear the signal at the end of Maryland Avenue. We're going to find ourselves jumping back up to 70. But because we now know from the way the cab signal is jumping around. By the way, there's a train coming here heading for Oyster Bay. So we now know. Oh, and by the way, that train can't go all the way to Oyster Bay. The M7 is not able to go all the way to Oyster Bay. So that's actually a bit of a faux pas that was put in as a electric train to Oyster Bay. I think it's a diesel route from East Williston to Oyster Bay. That train's an error, in my opinion. But in any case, because we know we're following another train, we're going to be... and the reason we know that is because the cab signal's been jumping around. It just went up to 70 right now. As we hit this signal again, or as we hit this signal up ahead, we're going to find ourselves back down to a 40. You can actually see the diagonal signal there. There it is. I want to wait for that before I said anything further. So you can see that diagonal signal there. And what that signal means is basically an approach signal. An approach signal means that we must proceed approaching the next signal prepared to stop. Trains exceeding medium speed must at once reduce. That means we get down to the 40 as soon as that happens. So we have to be prepared to stop. We're now up to a 70 again, so we don't have to worry about that, but we're now back down to a 40. And the next signal is going to tell us nothing because it's a track circuit that we're going to see in the middle of the track here. So, or is it? No, I think it's a hidden signal. We got up to 80 somehow. We just got warned about the 70. Interesting. But because I know it's a stopping service of some form up ahead, I'm going to go ahead and just keep going at this 40 speed for a while. Because I have a feeling when I pass the next signal, unless I see an 80, I'm going to get dropped to 40 again. So, a little bit more excitement to this than we expected. So that was Maryland Avenue. We're going to see New Hyde Park next. We still have an approach, so yep, we're getting a 40. That's exactly what happens. I'm going to go ahead and bring it back up to 40. Actually, 38. Actually, this might be a stop. So I'm going to actually slow it down a little bit because this train could be stopped up ahead, and if it is, we can't really proceed. So I'm just taking a little bit cautious environment here. I'm being a little more cautious. You can see some lights twinkling in the distance over there to the right. And New Hyde Park is very possibly a stop for this train. We don't have any signal here telling us to stop yet. If we look ahead, well, the train's actually left, but there was a train stopped there for a moment. So we're going to get upgraded signal in a moment, I believe. By the way, you saw that other train coming in the distance? We're going to take a quick look at that as you see a label coming up along here. 2078 to Beth. Now, something I need to point out, because we saw this Beth in the previous scenario as well. Beth, I believe, is the name of an interlocking. And the interlocking is probably the one around Ronkonkoma. That is actually a service. The 2078 is a service number for Ronkonkoma. So, not Beth, but Ronkonkoma. That's what it really stands for. So I think it was just a case where research material gave information that was misunderstood to be the destination station. And again, not knowing anything about the area around Ronkonkoma, I'm guessing it's Beth interlocking. I'll have to take another look at a map here and actually confirm that in the future. Now we're getting moved to a 70 now, so I'm going to start speeding back up to 40 because we should be back on approach signal. So that was New Hyde Park we just passed. You can see it at the back of the train right now there. We got cleared to an 80, so we're good for at least 2 signals. But at this point, thank you. Now do 70 again. So we're going to be, now technically we got a 10-minute journey to Jamaica, but we're not going to be going all the way to Jamaica. We're going to be going through, you know, Queens Village and all those other stations that we saw along the way. Yeah, okay, I'll just stay at 40. He stopped up ahead. I know he stopped up ahead somewhere, or at least he might be. Floral Park is indeed the next station we're going to see here. So I said Queens Village. That's the one after Floral Park, I believe. Maybe it's Bellerose. Might be Bellerose. It's after... Still not 100% sure on this route, ladies and gentlemen. I'll let you know what I figure out here. It is Bellerose after Floral Park. So yeah, Floral Park is the one coming up next. I just had to think about that for a second. I remember seeing Bellerose in our previous scenario. That's why it came to mind. Then it would be Queens Village and Hollis. And then we're going to pull into Hillside. So we got 4 stations to see here. Let's take another look at Floral Park as we pass the signal and get dropped to a 40 again. Beautiful. So that was another approach situation. you see a signal up here? We're still at 40. Approach signal on the other track for some reason. I'm not seeing a signal, so it looks like a track's... Ooh, a building just suddenly showed up in the distance. Minor leg there. So be it. We're still going 40. I feel like the train is stopped up ahead. I'm going to slow down again because I'm being a little careful. I know the next signal could be a stop signal. Nope, that's an approach signal. We just got cleared to 70, I think. No, we didn't. It's just an approach signal. That's all we need to know. It's an approach signal. Being down to 30 might be a good idea here, though. Apparently the next signal is a stop signal. We're being cut to 15. We are being cut all the way down to 15. Looking ahead, that is a stop signal. Positive stop is now coming into effect on the train. We are being forced to stop before the signal. We have to come to a stop. We don't have a choice. I'm going to go ahead and keep crawling at 5 miles per hour as long as I possibly can. But, nope, we're not going to be allowed to. We're not allowed to. You know what? We're going to have to make this train happy. We're just going to have to come to a stop. That's the end of that decision, of that discussion. So, what are we waiting for up ahead? Let's take a quick look at the map and see what we're finding here. I paused the game for a moment so we can get a good look up ahead. And as I zoom out, you can see there is a train actually stopped at Queens Village Track 4. Now, why are we dealing with a train at Queens Village Track 4 when we're on Track 1? I have no idea, but for some reason we are stopped here. I have a feeling that's actually probably a mistake, because this is a train to Huntington, but the train ahead of us seems to be all the way up here now. He was stopped at Hollis, so he's actually 2 stations ahead of us. Why are we stopped? This doesn't make sense. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get out of the pause menu here. I'm going to go ahead and return to the game. I'm going to tab, and I'm denied to pass. Something is happening up ahead. I don't know what is happening up ahead, but something is happening. Oh, the train just disappeared. Well, that's brilliant. Can I go now? I'm still denied. Okay. Well, the train we were following actually left, as we're going to be supposed to pull into Hillside Yard over here. But why are we now denied passage? I don't understand. What is going on that we've been denied passage? Oh, I see what's going on. This is where we're supposed to cut over to Queens Track, well, 3 and eventually 4. But we have to wait for this train to come by. This train to Huntington I was looking at has to come by. There's another train over here as well that we're probably going to see going to Huntington behind it. For some reason, 1736 is right behind it. I have seen 2 Huntington trains close to each other in the schedule before. This is probably one of those circumstances. So he's going by the track we need right now. So we should be seeing our signal clear in just a moment up ahead here. Notice in the cab, I'm zooming in a little bit here, it says penalty. Basically, we're being told to stop. That's what it's basically telling us to do. So let's zoom in on the train that's coming by. As we watch the signal up ahead, there is 0668 to Huntington now coming on track number 2. That's the track we're going to be moving on to after this signal. So as he finishes going by, we should be clearing now, I would hope. We should be clearing, I would hope. Can we clear, please? Can we clear, please? Am I waiting for the other train? Seriously? I guess I'm waiting for him. He's going to move on to track number 3. He's going to eventually probably move on to track number 2 as well. Which looks right because the track for me is set to track 3 right now. So he's probably going to move on to track 2. And, what are you doing, game? What are you doing? Is he going? Can he make up his mind? Is he going to go? I mean, if I go up this path right now, I'm going to be going through Queen's Track 2 as it's labeled. 1 and 2 are on the inside. My track would go straight. So the fact that my track ends here means the junction is set against me. This train is supposed to go along track 3. Sure enough, he has started moving. By the way, 3753 New York Penn also has a stop signal. He was allowed to go up to the stop signal. I am disappointed. I am very disappointed by this. I'm going to move forward a little bit if I can. Or I can't. I'm going to reset the train. Will you shush? Can't just let me move up, can you? Now I can't apply any power. Notice I can't do anything now. Now that I'm in penalty, I can't apply anything. Oh, you let that guy go up to the signal. You made me sit here half a mile away from the signal. That's just genius. Is that real? 1736, Huntington. We should be clear any moment now that he's going by on track 3. No, he's clear on the other track. All the passenger services we have to wait for because we are an empty train. Welcome to the Long Island Railroad, ladies and gentlemen. Or any railroad for that matter. They all do that. They all make you wait. Oh, that's hilarious. I love it. Geez, if I knew I was going to be getting a train spotting mission here in a railfan situation, I would have just gone ahead and actually done the railfan. I would have sat outside the train for a while, watched these guys go by, but I didn't know that was coming. That's actually funny. That's very funny. Our arrival time is estimated to be in 8 minutes from now, by the way. Wasn't expecting this much traffic up here tonight. This is unusual. We're not going to be able to pass yet, so we have to give it a little longer. Is my ETA changing? No, it is not. So, oh, my ETA is changing now. I'm still denied. Oh, well, I requested a pass. I was denied. Then I got an approach signal. That's convenient. Let's zoom back out and see what happened. Oh, we got a 40 now. Look at that. We got a 40. Let's go. Which means we're going to get cleared for a 30 in a second, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not going to get comfortable with that 40. Just make sure we don't have a problem. Knew it. 15. Jerks. I'll get cleared to a 40 again in a moment, I'm pretty sure. That will get a 40 in just a moment. So we can finally take the much desired path track number 2 and the much desired path of track number 3. And I think also the much desired path of track number 4. I think all the tracks are set for us now. Yeah, we're now set to go through Queens Village track 4. There's another train, oh, that train that just passed us, it took a position in front of us on track 1 on its way to New York Penn. We're going to just keep going right past Queens Village tracks here and continue onwards on that track. Right there, it just extended. So we still got a ways to go. We're still not clear for 40 yet. We're clear for 30, which means I can actually speed up a little bit, I guess. That looks like a medium approach or approach medium or something like that. Yep, clear for 30 again. I must have just gone up to 40 and got dropped back to 30. That must be what happened. So I'm probably going to see another medium clear or approach signal coming up here. I'm not going to bother extending my speed too much here because and I think I can see why Rob made this a 1,000-point scenario. If he tried to employ timings on this, it would have caused some very bad driving. I'm pretty sure some very bad driving would have occurred. We just got moved to a 30, by the way, on the actual track speed. So that signal that just passed by, that is a different signal than the one we've been passing under, and not the one I was expecting. That particular signal was... actually, I got the wrong information here, so I will tell you in a minute because I got the wrong signal information in front of me. I was not expecting that signal. That signal we just saw is still not on my list. Okay, I'm not sure offhand what that signal is, guys, so I will let you know when I find out. Now you hear me shuffling paper for a moment because I was really not expecting a vertical line over a diagonal line there. That was unexpected. I still have the wrong signal. This is really strange. I don't know what that signal is, guys. I have no idea right now what that signal is. I'll worry about it later. Oh, wait a minute. I have an extra few signals here, but they are all flashing signals, so it won't be any of those either. Yeah, I don't know what that signal is. No idea. I'm not going to worry about it for right now. As you see, we just got beat for a 30 again, so he must have been cleared for a 40 for a moment. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and speed up to 30, because I think we can comfortably say we're able to go 30 at this time. So we're going to be taking the Hollis lead. Let's take a look at the path that we've been given here. As we head over to the yard, we find that we are now entering the yard. We have to stop at Hillside East lead. So that's the good news. We're going to be stopping there, and then we're going to pull into our track, which is track 4. And as you can see, the design of the scenario was nice enough to set up the track so we can actually go in. And it actually allows us to go out as well. I'll set this in case we're stupid, but we shouldn't be. We should not be stupid. I'll set it in case we are, though. Because I don't think we're going to get a positive stop when we're in the yard. So because the yard was lit up in blue, you know we're within a mile of the yard. You can actually see Hillside East lead right there in the distance. That's a 10-mile-per-hour speed restriction over there. So that is what we're going to be limited to in that yard from what it looks like. We have to stop before that 10-mile-per-hour speed post, which is very nice. Now there's your standard approach medium signal, I believe it was, or medium clear. Yeah, medium clear. I have that one in front of me. I'm going to take one more look to see if I can find that other signal, because it really is bothering me not knowing what that signal is I went under earlier. That really is bothering me. You have no idea how much that's bothering me right now. And I wonder if that was an approach medium and I just didn't recognize it. Maybe I saw these. I must have seen the signals the wrong way. That must be what happened. Maybe it was an approach medium. We just passed another. Wow. I didn't want to do that again. I keep doing that. 15. Okay, we're at 15 now. Good to know. Good to know. Our journey's almost over. I'll allow it. So there's Hillside East lead. We are still about 4/10 of a mile away. I'm just going to leave it at 13. Leave it at 13. We will get there at some point. We will get there. I promise you, we will get there. So yeah, about a half-hour scenario. He was right on the mark with that one because with the timings of the trains going by, we're now at 27 minutes. So half an hour looks like it's right on the ball here, maybe slightly under. But I like numbers being on the 5 and the 0, so it makes sense anyway. Who is that coming at us? Who's that going by? 1717 to New York Penn. Small P for some reason. And here comes 772 to Hempstead. Now, I think the train numbers in the Long Island Railroad Network, I don't think they have a leading 0 on them, so I don't think it actually has to say, whoops, I don't think it has to say 0772. I think 772 is fine, but maybe they are 4 digits. I don't know. Maybe on the tickets they show us 4 digits. I know on the timetables I'm looking at, they don't show us 4 digits. They show us 1, 2, or 3 as appropriate in those cases. I'm going to slow down a bit more because I know we're going to be bigging for the 10 anyway. But it also helps us come to a stop in this area. That, by the way, should be Hollis Station right there. Now, we're not going to have a lot of room for getting the train in here, which is fine. We just have to get the start of the train in. We can stop any part of the train in it, but we'll go ahead and we'll just stop the front of the train, because why not? Okay, this is going to help nicely. Get down to 0.00 and I'll come to a stop. It's down to 0.00. I'll come to a stop. Job done. Let's look at the train for a second. Okay, we received no message on that, so I'm going to just go ahead and continue forward, knowing that the yard is set because someone was nice enough to set it for us. People at Hillside know what they're doing. Credit to people at Hillside. Thank you. So here we are at 10. That is going to be our maximum speed for the remainder of this journey. Why? Because we're in a yard. Do I need to explain that further? So you saw that red indicator on the junction. That was not a stop signal. That was just an indication we're going to go to the left here, I believe. It basically says the straight track is closed. And sure enough, we are going to the left. So in case you thought I was passing a red, not naughty. I'm not that naughty. I know what I'm doing here, boys. And girls. And whatever else you identify as. Who am I to judge? So, pulling into Hillside Track 4, I can probably take this as far as I want to inside the track. And given it is a very, very long track, I think I'm going to do exactly that. Oh, what was I zoomed in on? I was zoomed in on, shop track. There's 14 shop tracks over there. Excellent. Betcha we're not going to be visiting the shop. Garages are permanently closed to us. Doesn't mean we can't break them down. Whee! So how far into the yard do I want to pull this? That's the only question. How much do I want to pull this into the yard? I'll be courteous. I'll give a little bit of room. I mean, is there a building I can pull it up alongside? I don't think there is. I think we just pull the train in and come to a stop. There's no indication of any location here that we need to pull it in next to. So I'm going to assume that we don't have anything to do with anything to pull up alongside. Nice flat ground here. We're staying right at 10. Like, it is not changing. It is not moving an inch. I like that. I like not having it change. 0.5% gradient? Yeah, that's fine. That is fine. I'll take that. It is working very nicely for my train in maintaining speed. Too bad we can't just have this gradient everywhere in the yards, but going the other direction, we'd have to actually increase speed to get out. A minor inconvenience. So now we'll take another look at the bridge we're going under. That is one of the buildings, and that's a way to get over the tracks. That's the Hillside Yard facility. So employees come in over this bridge, and they get ready to board the trains for that they're going to be working on. That's the staff building over there, it looks like. So this is, whatever that is, that's the staff building. And employees enter there, they check in, then they go board their trains, basically. They find out what train they're boarding, and they go to work. So they get their schedule just like we do, just like we buy our tickets, ladies and gentlemen. That's how that works. Anyway, that's the end of that service. Let's look at our train as we finish. And that's the second part of the on-the-clock stairway, the empty equipment moved to Hillside Yard. We now have another 2 stairs on the books. Let's see if I'm allowed to get a score for this one, shall we? I'll have to clone that, like I said, one of those 2 career scenarios and just stick a star in there. That's what I'm going to have to do on that one, but we will do it. I can walk away and let that happen. So a nice one, engineer. That was a good, quick run down the tracks. Time to put your feet up. I guess. I don't know, but okay. That's the end of that. Let's take a look at our ending screen. It should be a blank screen when we get there. So let's take a look. Well, at least I got a score this time. That's the good news. I got a score for this run. So 1,000 points, blank screen, like I said. And I'm actually seeing a gold indicator on that 40 at the bottom of the screen. Ooh, I'm actually going to be a gold player. I'm finally going to be a gold player. One or two more scenarios that actually let me have a score. I'll see if I can clear that. I might leave that star unclaimed for a little while because I think the 122,800... I'll check how far that bar went up since I started this scenario, but I want to claim that level 40 while I'm on a video. Why not? Then I'll just go ahead and clear whatever else is left after that. So we'll see what happens. In any case, that's the end of On the Clock Part 2, Scenario 4. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time, probably for Brooklyn Baller. I keep wanting to say Brawler, but Brooklyn Baller. That is going to be our lovely Atlantic City to... Where does that one go? I think it goes to Hicksville. I might actually be Atlantic City to Hicksville. I'm not 100% sure. I know it's not the Hempstead one. I think it is Atlantic to Hicksville, which is an interesting stopping pattern, to say the least. In any case, we're going to be doing Brooklyn Baller next time, whatever it is. So stay tuned for that. I'm Cyclone. If you are watching this at least sometime in the future after I post this, you may already see that video on the playlist. If you do, stay tuned. You will see that scenario in 3, 2, 1.